Okay, so hey there guys. So today's video is going to be my October favorites video. I cannot believe how fast time is flying by and it's the end of October already. I'm filming this like 2 days before October is over, but I don't have a chance to film this after today. Tomorrow I have class all day and I don't get home till 5:30, so I'm pretty damn tired that I never want to film on Tuesdays and Thursdays because I'm at school 9 to 5. Um, and then Wednesday after school, my boyfriend's coming over, and then Thursday, I'm seeing Thor with my friend after class. And then Friday and Saturday, we have my one of my boyfriend's friends' surprise birthday party, and then Friday, I just go to my boyfriend's house. So, yeah, I wanted to film it today. So, yesterday, or actually this past weekend, I went to Connecticut to see my best friend with my boyfriend, and we drove down and we drove back up, and it was really, and we went down for Halloween. It was really, really fun. My best friend actually like booked a hotel for us, and me and my boyfriend stayed in one room, and her boyfriend stayed in the other room, and it was really fun. But I just wish my friend like showed up earlier, and I didn't have to see her till like 9 p.m. and I only got to spend like 6 or 7 hours with her, which really like wasn't really enough time because I haven't seen her since my birthday when we went to birthday karaoke, and I did that whole get ready with me for that. But yeah, it was fun. It's the third time me and my boyfriend have been out of state this year, so yeah, we're doing a lot this year. It was like the first time we went to an aquarium, the first time we went to a baseball game together, the first time we've been out of state together. We've been out of state 3 times. We went to Philadelphia for my cousin's wedding. We went to Jersey for medieval times, and then we went to Connecticut to see my best friend. So yeah, we're doing it all over again in December because me, my boyfriend, and my best friend and her boyfriend are seeing John Oliver together in Connecticut, and I believe it's at Mohegan Sun, but that's like literally right after Christmas. So yeah, for now we're chilling, and Thanksgiving's coming up obviously, and all these birthdays are coming up, so it's gonna be pretty busy next 2 months. So yeah, let's jump right into it. So let's jump into my favorites. I have quite a bit of favorites to share with you guys this month because most of these are from my last previous drugstore haul that I did. So now I can share those favorites with you guys. So I'm going to start off with foundations because there are quite a few I want to talk about, and I really, really wanted to talk about this one first because I'm like head over heels in love with this foundation. This is the number 7 Lift and Illuminate Foundation Firmer Even Skin Sunscreen Broad Spectrum SPF 15, and this one is in the shade Cool Vanilla. So this is what the packaging looks like, and then it has a pump, obviously. I'm wearing it today, and I actually have been wearing this quite often these past couple of days. I wore this on Friday, and I also wore this today because usually on Mondays and Wednesdays, I don't wear my makeup for too long because I only really wear it to class, and then I go home and then I take it off. So that's why I'm wearing like pretty natural makeup today because I only have one class today. And then I went to the mall with my mom, which I don't know why I did because I'm like so tired from the trip because I didn't get any sleep on Saturday night because I never sleep anywhere that's not my own bed. And then we didn't get back to the hotel till like 4 in the morning, so we were all pretty damn wiped. But we didn't sleep because, you know, we just couldn't get any sleep. And then I didn't pass out, and I didn't really sleep until like 1 a.m. last night because I got home from Connecticut with my boyfriend at like 3:30 in the afternoon, and it was like pouring rain yesterday. And then I was home like for the entire rest of the night, and I caught up on some TV shows. But for me, I have to make sure that I go to sleep like when I can actually go to sleep, because if I would take a nap, I would have just passed out to like 5 a.m. and then I wouldn't have been able to go back to sleep again. So I was like, let me stay up until I like pass out, and then I like slept like a baby until my alarm went off. I was so tired. So yeah. Anyway, I love this. It makes your skin look so gorgeous. It's so dewy and beautiful. My skin looks a little bit shiny right now because I wore a very luminous primer along with this because I decided to wear my Becca Backlight Priming Filter today. And I just really love how it makes your skin look. It's just beautiful, and it makes it look so healthy. I think, no, hands down, this might be my favorite foundation ever. Like, I just really love it. I know not a lot of people can wear this, especially if you have oily skin. But if you have dry skin, and if you're looking for something that's just lightweight, that's going to even out your skin tone, that's kind of like a BB cream, this is your answer. Like, I think I love this even more than the Urban Decay Naked Skin. Like, I think that this is amazing. It's so creamy on the skin, but it has enough like pigment to it that it'll cover really beautifully, and it just blends out so nicely. Like, look how pretty it looks on my skin. It just looks like my skin. And you guys know I love foundations like that. Like, I love the Giorgio Armani, but this might be my favorite new inexpensive alternative because this does run 15 to 17 bucks, but I got it for $10 at Ulta on promo, and I love it. Okay, next one that's one of my favorites is the L'Oreal True Match Super Blendable Makeup Titanium Dioxide Sunscreen Broad Spectrum SPF 17. And this one's in the shade Warm Porcelain 1. I know there's a lot of glare, but that's what it looks like. This is such an amazing full coverage foundation. It just has gorgeous coverage. It does not feel heavy on the skin. I did wear this on Halloween because I really wanted to put it to the test because I knew it was like the palest new foundation that I have gotten, and I wanted to see if it had flashback when I took photos with it because I was a witch for this Halloween. I wore one of my old witch costumes from high school. Let me show you guys a photo of my outfit. But I really think that the foundation was gorgeous. It held up beautifully. I mean, it's not like we did anything too crazy. It's not like it was hot weather or anything. But this is what my outfit looks like and what the makeup looks like. You know what? I might turn off the light for a second so you guys could see it a little bit better. I just dropped another foundation. Ugh, Jesus Christ. Why can't I ever do anything like a normal person? So that's what it looks like. I think you guys could see it a little bit better if I show it to you like that. Oh my gosh. See, I can show it to you like that. So it's kind of like a black long dress, and it had like a velvet hoodie, and then it has like a little gloves. But I'll zoom out and show you guys like fully what it actually looks like. Trying to catch the light. See how it looks? Yeah. So that's what my makeup looked like. I tried to make myself as pale as possible. I think it came out really, really good. But I swear this foundation, where the heck did the cap go? Ugh. I can't pick it up. Sorry. Okay, as my hair gets in my face. This is not for this. I'm like trying to put the cap on this foundation, but obviously this one has a cap. Let me stop rambling and actually talk about my favorites. Okay. So this was really beautiful coverage. It lasted really long. It looks gorgeous on the skin. I really love this. This is the Nicole Guerriero's and some people's holy grail drugstore foundation for a reason. It really is amazing on the skin. I'm going to have a full drugstore, like battle of the drugstore foundation video coming up. I've already filmed it. I'm going to post it probably in like a week or so and tell you guys all my thoughts on this. On these foundations, but I'm just telling you guys that these two are by far my favorites that I've tried so far. Where did it just go? The number 7 and the True Match. I think these are amazing. I know these are both completely opposite, but this is my favorite lightweight foundation. This is my favorite full coverage foundation, hands down. That is so good. Okay, so next up we have the Maybelline Super Stay Better Skin Transforming Foundation. And this one is in the shade Ivory. Now, the only problem I have with this is the shade selection. I wish that they had a lighter shade than this. This is pretty damn, it's not that light. I think they might have one lighter shade online. But what annoys me is that I think it depends on where you get some of these foundations sometimes. Sometimes you find the Ulta and CVS don't always carry the same shade selection or carry the same exact products. Sometimes they're Walmart exclusive, sometimes they're Walgreens exclusive, sometimes they're CVS exclusives. You know, it always varies, or sometimes they're Ulta exclusives. But I never shop at Walmart. I only shop at CVS and Ulta mainly. But for mainly drugstore products, I shop at CVS. Only when Ulta carries a brand that CVS doesn't carry, that's when I go buy it there. So yeah, this is really good. Beautiful coverage. It just looks really beautiful on the skin. I just don't like how it looks more tan as opposed to the shades of those two. Those ones are definitely lighter than this one, but this one is great as well. It has a beautiful medium to full coverage. It doesn't feel heavy on the skin, and I really like this for not completely long wear, but at least if you're wearing your makeup for like a good 6 or 7 hours, it definitely lasts really, really well. The number 7 I wouldn't recommend for all day wear, even though I've been wearing this since 12 p.m. and I still love how it looks. So that's good. I think this is kind of the longest I've worn it so far. And the L'Oreal I've worn, like, obviously I wore it from like 4 p.m. till like 4 a.m. last Saturday night. So it lasted amazingly. I think my foundation was the thing that looked the best out of everything else because the lippy I wore okay, so I'm done talking about this, but I love it. The lippy I wore was Lime Crime's Wicked. And I asked my best friend, is this the one that looks the best? Because I showed her like 3 different reds. I had New Americana from Lime Crime, Wicked from Lime Crime, and Makeup Monster's Redwood. And Redwood is the one I wore last year on Halloween because I love that one when I was the TARDIS from Doctor Who. But I wanted to be a witch this year, and we were going to like kind of like a goth themed party because I feel like that's how her friends kind of were, was a little bit more like goth. But her friend's house was decorated amazingly. It was just like such a cool vibe. Like she had so many awesome Halloween decorations. And I was like, which lippy looks the best? And she said, she just pointed to that one first. And I was like, ironic because it's called Wicked. But it definitely has the worst formula out of the three. Out of the 3 reds, I definitely prefer the Makeup Monsters one or the Lime Crimes New Americana. Some of them vary with the formula, but anyway, I just don't really want to repeat myself with lippy sometimes. Like, I just have like 4 that I really love right now that I'm going to tell you guys about. But yeah, I'm just going to continue talking about foundation. So the next one I wanted to mention is the CoverGirl Outlast All Day Stay Fabulous 3-in-1 Foundation, and this one's in the shade 810 Classic Ivory. Now again, my con with this is that this is very yellow on the skin, and it's a little bit heavy for me since I have dry skin, and this is probably more for oily skin, but it is beautiful. It lasts such an amazing amount of time on the skin. And it has gorgeous full coverage, but again, for me, I don't really need full coverage because I don't really have problem skin. But if you're looking for something that is a full coverage foundation, I would suggest this or the True Match. I think they're both great alternatives, but this one is really, really good on the skin as well. And then the last one I wanted to talk about is the Milani Conceal and Perfect 2-in-1 foundation in the shade Creamy Vanilla. This is the 2-in-1 foundation and concealer. Again, my only con about this is the freaking shade. I didn't know that they had a lighter shade online, but they certainly did not have it in CVS. They didn't have the first shade in the line, which really, again, pissed me off. I'm like, why don't they have the fairest shade in store? That's really annoying to me. So this is too yellow on me, but I love the formula of this. But I've said, I say this in my drugstore foundation video, and I will cover a lot more details in these. I just want to tell you guys that these are like my favorites that I've tried. This is so comfortable and so flawless on the skin when you first apply it. Like, I've never seen a foundation look more beautiful than this one when you first apply it. And it looks really good through for the first few hours of wear. It's so, this feels weightless on the skin, which is crazy. And I do love the packaging because this ombre is so pretty. But it does start to break up after 4 or 5 hours worth of wear, even though it does claim to be waterproof and long wearing. I don't find that to be the case. Maybe I just have to test it out more, but for how many times I've tested it out, that's what I've noticed. But I'm obviously going to keep on wearing it for you guys and tell you guys my thoughts next month if my opinion changes at all. So yeah, that's it for foundations. Now let's just move on to 2 primers really, really quickly. These are the 2 primers that I tried from the drugstore. The first one is the Wet n Wild Photo Focus Face Primer. This is really nice for like a moisturizing, hydrating primer. I really like this when I'm not wearing my makeup for a long period of time. It is really nice just to prep the skin for foundation. And then the other one is the e.l.f. Mineral Infused Face Primer. This, it really does remind me of the Smashbox Photo Finish Foundation Primer. I really do feel like it's a dupe for it. Maybe I should do half Smashbox and half e.l.f. one day and test both of them out and see which one lasts better. I don't really do that with primers because I'm like, whatever. If I find a primer I like it. I don't really have to like make it versus another primer, but I feel like the consistency is so similar. Like, this is a clear primer. This one's a lot more different than this because this is like a moisturizing white primer. It's like, it's just really, really nice. And this one is like the complete opposite, but I really like this for like longer periods of wear. I'm not sure like how I feel about it when I wear my makeup for a long period of time, but I have noticed that it has worked. So yeah, I really like that as well. So that is it for those. And then I only have one eyeshadow primer and one concealer to talk about, and then we just have eyeshadows, powders, highlighters, and lippies. So not like too many products. I actually think when I think about it, it's not like a million products, but it's quite a few. So this is the only drugstore eyeshadow primer I tried, and this was the Wet n Wild Photo Focus eyeshadow primer, and this is I think it's called Only a Matter of Prime, which I think is adorable. But this is what the packaging looks like. I really like the packaging on this, and then you just open it up and you squeeze it out of the little tube. And I find that this primer is definitely drier in consistency than some of my other primers that I use regularly, and the ones that I always use is the Smashbox Photo Finish Foundation. Not the foundation, the eyeshadow primer. Just replace the word with eyeshadow, and you got foundation, Photo Finish eye primer. Oh my god. I keep on saying foundation primer. And the MAC Prep and Prime 24-hour base. There are a couple more drugstore products I really wanted to mention in this video that I really have been loving, but I want to save them for my next drugstore haul. There is another product from Sephora too that I haven't mentioned yet, but I am really planning on picking up some stuff from the Vibe sale because I might be getting more money from the school. Because my income has changed from this year as opposed to last year, so I might get more money back. So I really want to get some stuff from the Vibe sale, and then I will get the rest of the stuff that I want from the drugstore. And that'll be it for now because I feel like I've gotten so many drugstore products now that I'm pretty much good for now. But I'm not going to share those yet until I actually get them all. But this is really good. I just do feel like it's a drier formula than my other primers. I don't think it makes your eyeshadow last as long either. Like, I'm wearing it today underneath Makeup Forever shadows, because I haven't worn them in forever, so I wanted to wear them today. And I like how it makes the lid shade pop out. Actually, this lid shade has been doing beautifully the whole day. I just feel like it's a drier formula, and it does make my eyeshadows last as long, but it's a good primer for the price. I just wouldn't suggest it for like really long periods of wear. I would go with the Smashbox one because that one's my favorite. Okay, and then one concealer. I don't really have any other concealers that were new that I'm trying out. I like the Milani one, but I'm not like in love with it, so I haven't really talked about it because I don't really love that primer. That concealer. Actually, I'm wearing another concealer that I'm absolutely obsessed with that I've been wearing like the past week. But I'm not going to talk about it yet because I haven't hauled it yet, but I just wanted to mention that I really have still been loving this concealer. This is the Wet n Wild Photo Focus Concealer Corrector. I just think it's so beautiful on the skin. I know, again, for some reason this is not a popular opinion, but I prefer the concealer over the foundation. The foundation's really good, but I think that the concealer is probably better. I really love it for no makeup days. I love it for when I'm wearing it with makeup, especially this one. Because it's just such a beautiful, like, lightweight combination. It's not, like, too overwhelming or anything, but so is the one that I'm wearing right now. I do notice that this one doesn't crease as much as this one does, but I just think it's really nice and hydrating, and I just really like it, so I really do love that. Alright, so that's it for that. So now let's jump into some eyeshadow, because I only have a couple of palettes to talk about, and they're both from the drugstore. The first one I wanted to talk about is a newer one that I got from Ulta when I got my happy birthday gift, and this is the NYX Happy Birthday palette. I have not used NYX shadows in a hot minute. I did used to use them all the time. I had the Prism eyeshadows, or Prismatic eyeshadows. I had like 3 shades of them, and I also had the Dreamcatcher palette, but this is the first time that I've had like a like full matte shimmer palette from them in like a long time. And I told you guys I was going to try the Warm Neutrals one, but since I was getting this for free for my birthday, I was like, why not just try this one? I don't know why this is still in here. And this is really, really good. The crease shades are great. I love the mattes. They all blend really beautifully together. And the shimmer shades are really pretty too. I pretty much have worn every single shimmer shade, I think except for this one on the lid, but I've worn like every other color. And I've only worn this like 3 times or so, but I really like it every time I wear it. They just perform really, really nicely. So that's why I've always loved NYX products and NYX eyeshadows, because they always make like such amazing products. But I think my favorite shade is this orange one right here. It's just really beautifully pigmented, and also the brown shade. Look how pretty they are. Look how pigmented those are. Really good shadows. And then that's what they look like. And then I'll just swatch one shimmer shadow for you if I don't like scratch it all over my hand because my hand started itching and I still had eyeshadow on my hand. We'll swatch this red one. See how pretty that is? And then that's what that one looks like, which I swatched it in a really awkward place, but that is a really pretty red. They are pigmented like the shimmery shades, but they're not too overwhelmingly colorful, if you know what I mean. Like they're still like pops of color, but you can wear them a little bit more neutrally because they're not like an intense green. They're kind of just like a pretty like fallish kind of like olivey green, if you can see that. But I really like them. So if you guys haven't picked up your birthday palette from Ulta, I suggest you do because this is a really good deal. Like, hello, it's free. Why not go get it when your birthday comes up? And then the other eyeshadow palette I wanted to talk about, which I'm pretty sure I mentioned it last month, is the e.l.f. Mad for Matte palette. Like I said before, I'm pretty sure I said this last month, that I'm not like completely head over heels about this palette. I know like a lot of beauty gurus and a lot of people rave about these. I'm not like completely obsessed with it, to be honest. And I feel like it's actually a dupe for this other palette that I'm going to talk about. They're like are pretty damn similar to each other. The e.l.f. Mad for Matte palette and the Lorac Pro palette, if you could see, they have a lot of similar shades in them, especially the matte shades. It's actually would be a really good comparison. Like this shade is similar to cream. This shade is similar to light pink. This one is similar to taupe. This one's not really, well, I guess like sable. This one is similar, and these are both similar to espresso. And then there's like a gray. So like there's definitely a similar color theory to these. But anyway, I don't find that the pigmentation's as good on this. I think that the NYX mattes are a better pigment than these. I just find when I use this, I feel like there's no differentiation in shades on my eyes. And that means like I feel like that there's no like color difference. Like when I'm using these, I expect this to be like a brown and then I expect this to be like a light pink shade. And I feel like all I'm getting is when I blend these together is like a tan shade. I feel like that this color is not distinctive enough in order for it to be like a defining crease shade. Maybe I have to use like more of the deeper tones to do that. But I don't know, I just feel like they all blend to be like one color kind of. Obviously you can see like the brown tones, but I don't know, maybe it's just because it's a more cooler tone matte palette and I'm just more into warmer tones. I just feel like these kind of like are kind of dull. I know that's crazy because again, I know that's not a popular opinion, but I'm just saying my opinion and I just feel like that I don't love it as much as everybody else does. So yeah, there are other palettes that I have been using this past month, but they're like, I just really wanted to concentrate on the ones that I've been using a lot more, and I really wanted to update you guys my thoughts on the NYX one because I haven't talked about it yet in a favorites video, and I wanted to tell you guys how I feel about this one. And yeah, I'm not like obsessed with, I'm not gonna like whip out a million palettes and talk about them again all the time. I just feel like that takes too long. I just really want to tell you the palettes that I really like that are newer, and I want to tell you guys my thoughts about them. So yeah, really like this, but I just feel like it's good and it's worth the price. I don't think it's worth more than $10. I kind of feel like it's worth like $5. Like I really don't love it that much. I forgot to grab this palette really quick. I've actually been using this quite a bit this month. I know I've obviously mentioned this before, but I've really been grabbing for the Kat Von D Metal Matte Palette again. I've used this quite a few times this past month, and I just love this palette. This palette is like, it is so solid for how much product you get. She really did deliver on this. Like I told you guys, I think that this is the best holiday palette I could have invested in. I wanted like a bunch of them last year, and this is the one I could get because I was really broke last year, and this is just so much bang for your buck. It's amazing. Like, can you, like, just take a minute and look at it? I did a full review on this palette last year if you guys want more information about it. And if you guys got your hands on it and you wanted to know, like, somebody else's thoughts and leave your comments and say, like, what you like about it. But you guys know I fucking love this palette. And I've used it a couple times this month. I used this, like, for purple colors. I used, like, these for green. And I think I used the blue this month. I mean, there's just such a versatile, amazing little palette. well, not little palette, it's a humongous palette, but I feel like you can get so many looks out of this. I feel like I really never do the same look with it. And I just think that they're amazing. I love this palette so much. I used this on Halloween as my Halloween palette. And I used like these 4 shades here. And I used the black. And then I used the silver on my lid. And then I popped on the gray and the purple on the lower lash line. I used a lot of the mattes. I used the black, the linen on my brow bone, the black in my outer crease, stone on my lower lash line along with ribbon on my lower lash line. And then I used oak. Maybe I didn't use oak. I used velvet to define my crease. I used suede as a crease shade. And then I used bone and linen mixed together on the brow bone. And then I popped on tinsel on my lid. And then I used twinkle on the inner corners along with thunderstruck. And that was my look. And I think it came out beautifully. I love this tinsel shade. It's such a gorgeous lid shade. But I thought that this was just like the best to go with it. And plus, since I did a witch theme, costume, I really wanted to use Kat Von D. I mean, like, isn't it fitting? And I love it. It's amazing. And then the last palette I wanted to talk about is the Lorac Pro palette. Now, this isn't a palette that I've used really relatively that often this month, or not even like that much at all, really. I've been using the Alice in Wonderland palette a lot more. I try to incorporate that a lot more. I've been using my Colored Green palette a lot, my Anastasia Modern Renaissance, but like, how many times can I talk about those palettes? But I wanted to mention this one because, and I'm pretty sure I haven't used any other ones like that regularly. But I used like this palette again because I wanted to see like how I could blend it, because I feel like my blending skills are a little bit better now. And I do really like how it turned out this time. I just felt like every time I would use this, it looked like very muddy. And I think it looks better for the way that I'm blending now. But I did use this shade Slate all over my lid, and I've never used it before all over my lid, and it looked really beautiful. I did the same thing with the Naked palette, and I used Dark Horse all over my lid, and it looked really pretty. I used that like last week with the Naked palette to do a full look, but I'll swatch this one for you. They are really beautifully pigmented. You just have to be careful with the way that you blend these. I am so tired, but for some reason I'm talking a mile a minute. Like, I know exactly what I'm saying, but I'm really tired. So that's what that shade it looks like. It's just a really pretty gray, and then I just wore it with a bunch of the neutral tones in the palette, and then I put like the black on the outer corners. I forgot what I wore when I wore this though, but I know I wanted something that was gray themed, like a gray color, and I was like, you know what, let me whip this out and use it, and I really liked how it turned out. So I'm always on the fence on this palette. I always think it looks too muddy, or I feel like it's not blended that well. But I don't know how I feel about Lorac. I feel like I have to try out one of their other palettes, but it's like, I don't really need to try out more than one palette from each brand that I'm not like that crazy about, besides like Too Faced or Urban Decay or like Makeup Geek or ColourPop, etc. Okay, and then the last eyeshadow I wanted to talk about is a single eyeshadow, and this is the L'Oreal Paris 24-hour Infallible eyeshadow in the shade 892 Amber Rush. Now, I did get this in my last haul video, and I just wanted to mention it to you guys today. So this is what the shade looks like. It's a really beautiful shade, and I will swatch it for you. Like I said, it did remind me of ColourPop's formula, but ColourPop, again, is actually cheaper, but obviously I did get these with my points, so I didn't really, not with my points, with extra bucks, so it doesn't cost as much money with CVS, and that's what the shade looks like. Look how blinding that is. Isn't that gorgeous? I have to wear this soon. But I've worn it twice, and I really like how it looks on my lid. It doesn't transfer anywhere because it's kind of really similar to ColourPop, like I've said before, and it's just really pretty on the eyes. So I might go pick up more shades at some point, but again, I don't really need them. I just really wanted to try that shade because that was the shade that like Young Wild and Polish would like always talk about. All right. So now we're done with eyeshadows. Now let's just talk about a mascara really quickly. The one mascara I've been using a lot this month and primer is the L'Oreal Voluminous Base Primer, and then the L'Oreal Voluminous Carbon Black Mascara. Like I said in my haul video, I really like this mascara with a primer. I feel like it works a lot better. I know a lot of people do rave about this mascara, and I don't really like love it as much as the L'Oreal Lash Paradise or the L'Oreal Telescopic. You guys know how much I love the L'Oreal Telescopic, but this is really good. It's just like my least favorite out of the three. It's a good mascara, but I'm not like obsessed with it, but at least it does what it's supposed to do. And the primer is really, really good though. Like, I will definitely repurchase the primer. This is the second time I've gotten this as well. But this is only the first time I've gotten this one. It's really good, but I probably would only repurchase the primer over the mascara, but the mascara is good and I've been using it a lot. Okay. Next up, let's talk about blushes since we have quite a few. Let's talk about the one that I'm wearing on my cheeks right now. This is the NYX Ombre Blush in the shade Nude to Me. I've worn this quite a bit this past month, and it's just so pretty. The packaging and everything, it's like an ombre color, and it has like little sparkles running through it, and I just think that this pigment lasts so beautifully. I've been wearing this since like 12 o'clock, and I have not reapplied this blush, and it looks really good. Granted, I didn't sweat or anything because obviously it's a lot cooler out now, but I think it's a really pretty like nude blush. I think it's a really good alternative to like the IT Cosmetics ombre blushes. I really want to try the not NYX Cosmetics, IT Cosmetics. I want to try the Wet n Wild ones. I think that they have them at Walgreens. I don't think they have them at CVS. They just look really, really pretty, but I really wanted to try one of these. This one's a little bit expensive. It's like $10, but I just think it's worth it just because of the color payoff alone. That's what it looks like. So it's a really good blush. I just really liked it for everyday wear. Actually, I forgot I have two face powders to talk about too. But let's continue talking about blushes. And then this is to no surprise. I've been wearing these again a lot. These are the Wet n Wild Color Icon blushes in the shades Apricot in the middle and Rose Champagne. I find myself grabbing for these a lot. I love the shade. I still love the shade. Sorry, I have text messages from my boyfriend. I don't know. I was about to like say out loud what we were talking about. We were talking about Kevin Spacey. I don't know if you guys heard about it. If you guys have thoughts about it, leave your comments below. I'm not going to talk about it because, like, I really am not aware of everything that has happened. I just know that House of Cards is going to be canceled now. But yeah, let me know your thoughts down below if you guys have seen anything about it. I love Kevin Spacey, but I don't know if I like love him anymore because of this. But anyway, this is the one I grab for a lot more than Rose Champagne because I feel like this one is a lot prettier on the skin. I do like this, but I feel like it's just too dull for me. Like, it's good, but I always find myself grabbing for this and warming it up more because I think that this one's a really beautiful, like, warm apricot shade. It's really pretty. It's a really pretty peachy color if you guys could see it right below that one. It's like more of a luminescent blush. And then the other one, Rose Champagne, looks like that. And then I will swatch it for you. So it looks like that. And then this one's a lot more of just like a skin toned color. It's not like, I mean, it's more orange. You can see that on the bottom. But I don't know. I just feel like it's not as good as the apricot one. The apricot one I freaking love. But I still like that one. And I love the formula. And then I just have to mention these again because they're just so beautifully packaged and they're so good on the skin. These are the Milani Baked Blushes in the shades Luminoso and Rosa Romantica. I've been wearing these a lot again this month and I really wanted to just mention them again. Luminoso is amazing. I don't know why it took me so... Oh my god, I thought the blush just fell out. I got so scared, but it's just a little brush. Luminoso is so gorgeous. I love it. It's just so pretty. Like, why didn't I own this before? I mean, I wanted to use extra bucks on it so I could get it for cheaper. But look how gorgeous that is. Isn't it beautiful? Oh my god, I love this blush. It's so pretty. I highly suggest you try this. It's beautiful. I love it. Oh no. Come on, Caitlin. Just put a little dent in it. I know it kind of spazzed out, but it's like I don't want to get like blush and glitter everywhere. Like when I do this shit, I'm just trying to put the little applicator back inside. And then the other one is the shade Rosa Romantica. Again, I think I've said this before that this is like the most gorgeous looking blush that I own. It's beautiful. It's beautiful. Like, come on. That's so pretty. And this one, like I said before, can double up as a highlighter because I feel like it's so gorgeous as a highlighter. If you can see that, it's like so shimmery and really pretty. And it's really gorgeous on the cheeks too, though. If you want like a hint of like a mauve color, this one has more pigment to it. And this is just so gorgeous. But yeah, I really love both of these. I reach for these a lot as well. And then the last blush I wanted to talk about, or last two, this is the Maybelline Fit Me blush in the shade Peach. This is the first Maybelline blush that I've ever tried, and the first one from the Fit Me line. Like I said before, I did hear that Young, Wild, and Polished loved these, and she said that these are really, really good, so I wanted to try them out for myself. These are a lot rougher to the touch when you actually touch them, and they don't really swatch that well. This one is good, but I feel like you really need to build it up in order to get color payoff. But it is really pretty for more natural makeup days if you're more into like natural makeup and stuff. Here's the actual swatch of it. So as you can see, it's not that pigmented. And I don't even think it's that peach. I feel like it's more of like a pink color. I guess it's more of like a peachy pink, not really peach. But it's still really good. But I probably wouldn't purchase any more of these since it's not enough color payoff for me. As you guys know, I need stuff really pigmented, especially my highlighters and my blushes. Eyeshadow you can build up a lot more, but blushes you don't want like too much pigment. You want it to be buildable, but you also want it to have like enough pigmentation when you do build it up. I think that the next one is more pigmented than this one, but this one I feel like you need to really build up in order to get color payoff. It's good, but not like amazing, and I probably would skip over it over the Milani and the Wet n Wild, not Wet n Wild, the... I just said it before. Milani. Milani and the NYX. Excuse me, sorry. Then the last one I wanted to talk about is the Physicians Formula Butter Blush in the shade Plum Rose. I feel like since the last time I've talked about this, because I didn't talk about it in my last video because I didn't think it was that good. Hold on one second. Let me yell at my dog. Watson! He never stops scratching himself. I'm sorry, I needed to warn you guys, because I usually yell too loud. But this is what it looks like. I actually really like this. It's really, really pretty. It's like a pretty plummy shade, and I think I said before when I was swatching it in my haul video, I felt like it was just like too light, and I felt like I wanted more color payoff from it. When you swatch it, it really doesn't look like much. It's right there. It's like a pretty light mauve shade. As you can see, it kind of blends into my skin tone. Maybe I need to be a little bit darker to wear it because it might wash me out a little bit, but I like it now. I've been wearing it more often, and it's just really pretty for like a light flush of like a mauve color. But I do think this is too expensive for not having as much color payoff, especially like this blush looks like light enough to be like a skin toned powder or something. So yeah. Speaking of powders, let's just mention the two powders I wanted to talk about really quickly. And then we'll talk about highlighters. So the two face powders I wanted to talk about is the NYX HD Finishing Powder. I did try out a couple of face powders from my last haul. Actually, hold on one second. I'm forgetting the other powder. I'm trying to finish recording this video because I told my mom I would watch like this Great British Baking Show with her. We like really love it, and she's watching something at 9 and it's like 7:55 right now, but I wanted to record this earlier so I could just get it out of the way because I was going to wait until after she was going to watch something at 9, but I was like, no, I want to take my makeup off like after this, so because I've been wearing it since like 12. So the first one is the Wet n Wild pressed powder in the shade Warm Light. I'm going to talk about all three of them at the same time. This is the Maybelline Fit Me Set and Smooth Pressed Powder in the shade 110 Porcelain. And this is the NYX HD Finishing Powder in the shade Translucent. The Wet n Wild one is really good, but I wouldn't suggest this for a longer wear. I just really love this when I want something like weightless on the skin. It doesn't even have like that much pigmentation to it, but it's really beautiful. Like I've said before in my haul video that this is kind of a dupe for like my baked powder from MAC. I've just been trying to find better drugstore alternatives. This one is really good, but I don't feel like it shows up enough for me, but it's really good for people who have dry skin because it's a really nice lightweight powder. The other one is the NYX HD Finishing Powder, which I've said like 3 times. This one is really good. It's really lightweight. I feel like it's kind of a dupe for my IT Cosmetics one. The IT Cosmetics one is definitely more pore filling though. This one's a lot more smoother, and it's supposed to be a finishing powder, but you guys know I always use the Hourglass as my finishing powder, but this is really good to set my foundation as well. It's really nice and smooth. I find all of these are not cakey at all. They're just really nice and smooth on the skin, which I really like. And then the last one is the Maybelline Fit Me one in the shade, I believe this is Porcelain. This one definitely has more kick up though. I really like the packaging on this one because it has like a little place to put your little puff, and then also a little mirror, which I think is great. I think that's great since this is actually a little bit less expensive than the NYX HD, and it has a mirror and a brush in here. Excuse me, Maybelline. But this is really good too. It's really nice and soft. It's more of my skin tone than the other two. The other two are very translucent. This one has a little bit of color since it's a porcelain and not a translucent shade. But I really don't have any complaints with any of these. I think they're really nice on the skin, and they're not heavy at all. They don't feel powdery at all on the skin. All right, now let's talk about highlighters. You guys already know I love both of these. The first one is the Wet n Wild Mega Glow Highlighting Powder in the shade Precious Petals. I've been wearing this again like crazy this month, and it's just really, really gorgeous. I would suggest any of these to you guys because they're so beautifully pigmented and they apply beautifully to the skin. This one is the shade Precious Petals right here. Look how gorgeous that is. The formula is amazing, and yeah, I love these, and I really want to pick up more shades of them. They got more of these shades in my CVS, so now I want to pick up a couple more because this is the only one I have. But I'm really glad I got this rose gold highlighter because I didn't really have any. And speaking of Wet n Wild, let's just jump into this one. This is the Wet n Wild To Reflect Shimmer Palette, and this one's in the shade Boozy Brunch. I finally picked this up because I kept on seeing Young, Wild, and Polished and the Fancy Face rave about these. So I really wanted to pick up Boozy Brunch because I believe this is the one that was originally named after Fergie, and then they made it permanent without the Fergie name because obviously they don't want to make her to make too much money. Oh, I do have this one as well, actually. I forgot I have this highlighter too. I have a couple of high-end ones that are like old favorites. But yeah, I'm actually wearing this one today mixed with my Makeup Forever highlighter. I've been mixing highlighters a lot more in this past month or two. That's why I don't have like a specific one I really love. I mean, I'm talking about these because I love them. But I'm like really into mixing my highlighters now because like I feel like just wearing one highlighter sometimes like isn't enough for me. I'm like, oh, I should mix like 3 shades or 1 shade or 2 shades. Like I just love highlighter, and this is really gorgeous. It has like this yellow gold tone. Like look how pigmented that is. It looks like liquid gold. Like it's insane how pigmented it is. And that's what it looks like right here. It's this one right here. What I noticed about this one compared to the Precious Petals one is that this has a drier formula than this one, but that's because it's more baked and it has a beautiful intensity to it. Do you see how reflective that is? Like, hello. And I did not reapply this when I got home. That's how intense that it stayed with the Makeup Forever underneath it. So maybe it's just the combo that made it last longer. But I find that this lasts pretty long. But I like layering it a little bit more, but it's really pretty on its own as well. And then the last drugstore highlighter I wanted to talk about is the Maybelline Master Chrome Mega Glow Highlighter. Is it Mega Glow? It's Master Chrome by Face Studio Metallic Highlighter. And this one's in the shade Molten Gold. Again, this is my favorite drugstore highlighter I've ever tried. One of my favorite highlighters I've tried all year. It's just so beautifully reflective. It is so intense on the skin. I almost wore it today because I really wanted to wear it again, but I was like, no, let me wear the Makeup Forever one. So that's what it looks like, and it's just so gorgeous and intense, and it is a gold shade as well, obviously. And then the other highlighter I wanted to talk about just really, really quickly, I just need to mention it again because I have been wearing it quite often this past month, is my beloved Champagne Pop. I wanted to mention it in the palette because the one that I have is kind of like shattered, so I figured I would just show you guys the new one that I have in here. I've just been wearing it a lot this month, and I've been mixing it with a lot of colors, and it was just like my go-to for the past couple weeks, the first couple weeks of October. I was wearing it a lot, so it's just, again, still one of my favorite highlighters ever. As you can see, it's right up here. These are two drugstore highlighters, and this is a high-end one from Becca. Obviously Champagne Pop, and it's just really gorgeous. It's just the perfect transitioning fall winter highlight for me. It's just one of my favorite fall highlighters. I just think it's amazing. So nothing new there. And then the last one I wanted to mention really quickly is NARS's blush in the shade Albatross, which obviously this is more like a highlighter. It's not really a blush. They just call them all blushes. And then I just have some lip liners and a lippy to talk about, which I am very excited that this video is almost over. But this one is actually really similar to, and I haven't worn this in a hot minute. This is like one of my oldest highlighters that I have. It was one of the first ones I've ever owned. It's the first one I've ever owned from NARS. And I wore this like a couple of weeks ago, and it was so beautiful on the skin. And it's right here. It doesn't really swatch that well. It's like so white when you swatch it. If you can see that, it's not that reflective. But when you put it on, it reflects like a beautiful like green purple shift to it. It's really similar to like the Makeup Geek Lit shade or like Electrify. I feel like they're kind of similar to the Makeup Geek highlighters. And it has just as beautiful as an intensity as Electrify. So yeah, don't pass this over. It's really good. I love the NARS Bonk to Stable palette. I think that one's great. And the dual intensity blushes. But I don't think that the Hot Sand Duo is as good as like these ones. But again, NARS is very expensive, so you have to be more picky. Okay, and then one under eye setting powder I wanted to talk about is the e.l.f. HD setting powder. I'm pretty sure I mentioned this in my last favorites video. But I know I've told you guys that the Laura Mercier under eye setting powder is my favorite of all time. But I'm really glad I found a drugstore alternative that I really like, because these are the only two powders that I use under my eyes. And this might be the one that's replacing it. I have been wearing the Laura Mercier the past couple of days though, just to see how it performs with the concealer I've been using to like test out which one lasts better. And I feel like they both last beautifully with this concealer. And this is really good. It's a good alternative. Just again, I hate the packaging. I wish it came in a bigger tub. And I find if I don't like really make sure that my mascara doesn't get under my eyes, I find that this can make it crease a lot. If I try to go back and fix it by putting more concealer on it and then putting more powder on, it creases that way and it kind of peeks through a little bit, which kind of sucks. Like my natural skin peeks through a little bit and then it looks messy. But not with this concealer, and I haven't really been doing that too often. But I noticed that the Laura Mercier covers it up better than this one. But this one's pretty pigmented, but the Laura Mercier is still my ride or die. But I might just be getting this one because the Laura Mercier is just too expensive for me right now. Okay, now let's talk about two lip liners. These are the Wet n Wild Gel Lip Liners. These are the Perfect Pout Gel Lip Liners, and I got two shades of them. I did mention these in my last haul video. And this one is called Bear to Comment, and this one is called Never Pedal Down. And I've been using these the past like week or two since I actually filmed that haul. And these are really, really, really good. They're only $2.99 a piece. And I got them for buy one, get one 50% off. So they basically only costed me like $3. Like, come on. Come on. It's like a no-brainer. And they're really, really good. Like, they're really smooth, obviously, because they're a gel formula. And they're really pigmented. They're really easy to apply. This one is the shade Bear to Comment. And this one is Never Pedal Down. I'll just swatch them both together. And they're just really easy to use because they just, you know, you push them up and you pull them down so you don't have to sharpen them. I really like push-up liners like that. So that's the Bear to Comment, and that's Never Pedal Down. Really pigmented, really easy to apply, lasts a really long time. So yeah, I'm obsessed with these, and I'm probably going to pick up more shades. These are even less expensive than the ColourPop ones. When I went to go pick up more lip liners, I was originally going to get the Rimmel ones, but then I saw these and I was like, you know what, I'm going to try them. I love Wet n Wild. I really love trying new Wet n Wild products. So I got like a whole bunch of, like I got two more shades of the Wet n Wild Liquid Catsuits, the highlighter, this, the lip liners, and the eye primer when I hauled that for you guys. I was originally going to get like two like more expensive items, but I was like, well, if I have all these extra bucks, I might as well get like all this inexpensive stuff. And I wanted to try these, and I think that these are really good. And when I said in my drugstore haul video that all I saw was positive reviews about these, I was like, okay, I have a good feeling about these, and I really, really love them. So I feel like I want to pick up more shades because they're so damn inexpensive. Like, come on. Okay, now let's move on to lipsticks. We only have a few to talk about. But I really, really, really wanted to mention my favorite lipstick that I've tried this past month. This is the Katy Kat Matte Cover FX. The Katy Perry CoverGirl Katy Kat Matte Lipstick in the shade Sphinx. First of all, the packaging is really nice. The smell is amazing. It smells like cupcakes. I love it. And then when you swatch it, this is just so gorgeous on the lips, and it's such a pretty color. So that's what it looks like right there. It is matte, but it's not like a uncomfortable matte. It's like kind of like the Comfort Matte formula from Urban Decay. As you can see, there's still like a shine to it. And it's just so comfortable on the lips, and it's just so good. I really love this. This is definitely my favorite formula I've tried from the drugstore besides the Wet n Wild Bare It All. This one definitely is more expensive. It's like $8 or $9, but I did get it for half off because I got 2 products from CoverGirl that day because it was buy one get one 50% off, and this is really good. I love it. And then I did want to mention the Wet n Wild Liquid Catsuit lipsticks again. This one's in the shade Rebel Rose, and this one's in the shade Nudie Patootie. You guys know how I feel about the Rebel Rose shade. I love it. I did review this in my liquid lipstick review and check-in video. And I love it. It's such a gorgeous shade, and it's so comfortable on the lips, and it's amazing. So it inspired me to try out more shades. I've only tried this one out once, and I don't love it as much as this one, but these are definitely like the best formula I've tried from the drugstore lately. I will have my liquid lipstick review and check-in on the L'Oreal Infallible lipstick up probably before this video because I have to post that one. And then I'll probably post this video right after that, but I really don't like that lipstick, and that's why it's not in here. But this is definitely by far my favorite liquid lipstick formula that I've tried from the drugstore so far. But I wanted to swatch it for you because it's a really pretty, like, this is a very gray toned nude shade. I'm kind of looking for something that's kind of similar to cashmere, but also because I really wanted to try a nude from the Wet n Wild lipsticks. I was like, I don't have a nude liquid lipstick from them, and I really love Rebel Rose, so why not pick up a nude shade? And then the other one that is kind of similar to like a gray tone color is the Colored Rain. Actually, I only have a brow product and then we're done. This is the Colored Rain liquid lipstick color lip paint in the shade Marshmallow. Now, I did just wear this a couple of days ago, and this one I feel like is so much better than the Mars shade. This one is so much more comfortable, and I'm definitely going to wear it more throughout the fall and winter time. I know that's kind of like a Frankenstein swatch, but it's really comfortable on the lips. And I find that this one applies a lot better. I just don't like the way that the Mars one applies. I wish it had this kind of applicator because that's probably why I don't love it as much. And then the last product I have to talk about is the NYX Micro Brow Pencil. And this one is in the shade Ash Brown. Now, the only thing I don't like about this, you guys, is that I feel like there's not really a lot of product in here at all. And I feel like I actually, which I probably have to do that, I actually had to put this back in here because it fell out of here, like the actual product. And then when I went to hopefully see if there was more product in here, it didn't look like there was. So I'm hoping there's like this much fell out of it, and I'm hoping that that's not all the product that's in there because it is hard to get out of here when you twist it up. But it's really, really good. So this is the spoolie side, and I don't love the spoolie as much as the Anastasia one, but it's still really good. My brows are pretty stiff right now because I've been having brow gel on all day. But this is really good to fill in your brows. I was really hesitant to like see how this actually would work since it's like a rounded out kind of pencil, but it's really, really good. The shade is really good for me. I was so torn as to which shade I should get in the drugstore when I actually got it. This is not swatching for me right now. That is weird. Alright, so that's what it looks like right there. I think it's a really good shade for me. I just don't know about the packaging. The packaging really throws me because if I put it down this way, I think that's what makes it fall down when I put it away, because then I like can't get it out. Again, it takes me a while to twist it back up, so I hope I didn't spend $10 on this for it to and wear out and be empty after like a month, because then it's not worth it for me to get it again when it's less expensive than my Anastasia brow definer, and I wanted to get it to try out something different since the Anastasia brow definer is getting pretty old now, that I wanted like a cheaper drugstore alternative. So yeah, that's it, you guys. That's my favorites video for the month of October. Please let me know what you've been loving this month and if you tried any of these products and what your thoughts are on them. And that's it, you guys. So please like and subscribe. Follow me on Instagram at CBW819, and my Twitter is PokerFace819, and my Snapchat is PokerFace819. And for the lip products and the eyeshadow products, I didn't wear any of those today. I'm wearing Makeup Forever shadows on my eyes today. And then for my lips, I'm wearing MAC Swirl. I haven't worn it in quite a while, and I just really wanted to wear a MAC lipstick today. So yeah, that's it, you guys. Bye! Oh yeah, also, show favorites. Really, really quick, because I keep on forgetting to do this at the end of every favorites video. I've been watching Downton Abbey this past month, and I really, really like it. I'm like almost halfway into season 5, so I'll be done with that pretty soon. And then I've just been watching Once Upon a Time, since Once Upon a Time is back now, and it's actually getting pretty good. Usually it's not that great, but if you follow me on Facebook, if you guys have found me on Facebook, I don't really offer my Facebook. I just say Snapchat, Twitter, and Instagram, because Facebook is just more personal. But I do think it's getting pretty good, and I'm also watching this British series with my mom. It's called, well, 2 British series. One is called Vicious, which is with Ian McKellen and his gay lover on the show. I forgot his name. It is hilarious. They play like this old British couple, and they're just so mean to each other. That's why it's called Vicious. It's amazing. I love Ian McKellen. He's fucking brilliant. And then The Great British Baking Show, which is a show that my sister recommended to me and my mom. I fucking love it. My favorite show last month was Gracie and Frankie. I didn't say that last month. I finished it last month, though, because obviously I'm not watching it anymore because it's only 3 seasons. And I finished that 70s show last month. This was all before school started. But Gracie and Frankie, I got my mom to watch, and she loves it now, too, and I fucking love that show. And then the other show I'm watching, of course, currently is Jane the Virgin. It's my obsession. I love it so much, and it came back with the 4th season this year, and, well, this fall, and it's had 3 episodes so far, and I'm obsessed. But yeah, that's it, you guys. Tell me what your show favorite was as well. Bye!